Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Kashish Mindiratta. From today's video, I am going to start a new playlist on C++ STL. STL is a standard template library which is used a lot in competitive programming and data structures and algorithms. So we need to understand that how these works, because if otherwise we have to create the functions and all the things which STL provides it will be a very large program. It's very difficult to do that. So we want to utilize the functionality of C++ STL, but before directly diving into what are the components of C++ STL and how to use them, we first know that how they work, because if we know that how the things work, we can easily do the thing. Means we can easily just find the things, but we should know how to do that thing. So for learning C++ STL, we should learn the templates, because standard template library, as it has template word, it means it's based upon templates. So we first learn templates before directly diving into the standard template library. In my next video, I will be creating a mini type of a data structure which a C++ STL has. For example, there is a vector in C++ STL and I will make it from scratch, and I will tell you how that is made using the templates, so that you can have a better understanding of how templates work. So first let's learn the templates in this video. So template is a blueprint. For example, you have you want a house and you have a template of that. That means that's not the house. You have a template that how the house should look like. Means you can say that it's like a blueprint. So for example, if what I want to sum two functions, let's say I have not created the function. Let's say I want to sum two integers. So what I want is that I should pass two integers and it should give the sum of it. Also I want that the same function should accept two float numbers and return me the answer of adding the two float numbers. How we can do that? First way is that to make the two functions. For example, for this function call, I have to make a function which accept two integers and returns the sum of two integers. So this will work fine. But for the second call, this function will not work, because it accepts two integer parameters, but we are passing the two float arguments. So it will not work fine. So we have to create a new function for that. So let's change all the types to float. So now I have two functions. It should work fine. Let's check that out. So we have created the executable file and just run that. Yeah, so it's giving us the answer. But the problem is that the code is not dry. What we want is that it should decide upon compile time that what should be added here. The problem is that it is just prefixed, means it's just pre-filled with float, and this is pre-filled with integer. Means we want to leave some space such that compiler decides what should be there in this. Means let's say I just put t here. Means I want a placeholder here, and I want that, let's delete that function. What I want is that when I call this function, it should fill t with integer, because everything here is an integer. And what if I call this, it should fill t with float. So C++ provides us functionality of that. We can left some placeholders. That placeholder can be a type, just like here return type, parameters type. We can replace that. We can left placeholder for that, and also we can left placeholder for integers, floats. I will explain you that also. So for that we have to write just before the return, just t is the return type. So just before the return type we have to write template, and what we want as a placeholder, we want type name, because we want type name to be decided during the compile time. So I write this. So I have write t, I can write any name. so it's just the name. T is conventionally used, so I have written T. So what it will be doing is that it's a template, it's not an actual function. It will not occupy any space, just it's a template for creating the new functions. What it will be doing is that when this line encounters, it find that, oh, this is integer and this is also integer, so I have to replace T with integer. So it will take this template and only then create a function, and it will be replacing all the T with integer. So this is how it will work behind the scenes. So let's run that. Let's create a executable file and running that. Yeah, similar thing, but now the code is very much dry. Now look at some more things which we can do using the templates. We can have some integers also here, just like I want some other placeholder. Let's not do that. Yeah, let's pass some another template T2. Okay, so that would be the third parameter, and what we want is that we want to just output that third parameter. So output C. Okay, so it will be returning this thing and outputting on the same time also. So I can, now we have to define T2 also. So I define T2 here as it's also a type name, and we have used T2 here. So let's pass the third argument. So if I can pass here anything because T is not related to T2. So here it's our int. That's not a problem because here the first two arguments are T. So if this is an integer, it should also be an integer, but third is T2. It's completely different. We can write anything. So let's write float here and integer here. Okay, so it will now again work fine. Let's compile that and run that. Yeah, so it's just displaying 4.3, then it's outputting the sum of first two arguments. Then similarly here it's displaying firstly 4 and then arguing, means then outputting this. Means we can have the three different arguments also, three different parameters also, means it's all depend upon that. So now here it is just finding from what we are passing, but in some cases we have to explicitly define that what it is. So to fill the placeholders, we have left the two placeholders. So in some cases we have to fill the placeholder before the parenthesis. So what I can do is that we can pass the two placeholders here. So the placeholders are that first placeholder is T, so it is int because we will be passing the integer, and the next will be the float because our second T2 is float, and here it's float and next is int. It will work the similar way, there is no difference, but why it is T1 is not declared where I have written. Okay, so I have just changed that. So it will not be creating any difference. Yeah, it was the same output as previous, but in some cases we have to define here. So this was all about the templates, and I hope you really liked my video and you get a better understanding of how templates work. In my next video I will be creating a vector from scratch. Vector is in C++ STL, it's a container. I will tell you in the next video, and I will replicate some of its functionality so that you can understand that how they work behind the hood. So this was all about this video. Okay, meet you in the next video.